we go though, Saturday night in the EFL on TalkSport 2, and one of the great fixtures of any domestic championship season, live from South Wales, the latest instalment of one of Britain's fiercest derbies. An evening of passion, of pride, an evening on which to nail your club colours to the mast. 41 miles separate the teams along the south coast, two cities divided and united by rivalry and a desperate desire to come out on top. It is quite simply Cardiff City against Swansea City, and no better place to hear it than on your home of the EFL. That is TalkSport 2. Swansea get us underway, playing from right to left towards the canted end of the ground in the first half. Swansea all in white, Cardiff all in royal blue. Cardiff playing from left to right towards the Grange end of the stadium. That's where the Swansea fans are housed. I'll remind you of the two teams in just a moment, as Christian Pedersen on his Swansea debut heads the ball downfield up towards Jerry Yates, and Jamal Lowe, who's just rejoined Swansea and is playing for the club for the first time in just over 2 years, having rejoined on loan from Bournemouth, goes up for a header, but Cardiff City win themselves a free kick, and Perry and G, the Cardiff right back, hoists the ball down the near side channel towards Ike Ugbo, but it's shepherded out of play by Pedersen, and a goal kick away to our right for Swansea City. Our commentary position just to the right of the halfway line, about 20 rows or so from the front and alongside me for the night, and what we hope will be an evening's tremendous entertainment in a fixture that really fails to excite is the former Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo.
Well, no surprise, Joe, that there's not many little touches. It's all about just going forward with a little bit of quality, a few aerial duels at the minute. It's just about who gets the foothold in the game, who has that composure, that bravery to get the ball down and play and believe in the way that they go about business.
90 seconds played, and it's Cardiff 0, Swansea 0, but Cardiff are on the attack with Ugbo playing into the path of Ramsey, who's captaining Cardiff tonight. What a moment for Aaron Ramsey. Yaku Mete corner of the penalty area, formerly of Reading, big striker, and it's knocked out wide to Perry and G. Cardiff fans up out of their seats, but G can't keep the ball in play, and it's a goal kick to Swansea away to our right hand side. 0-0 the score on Derby night, Millwall against Leeds. Almost as fiercely contested a fixture as this will be live on TalkSport 2 tomorrow at noon. So Jack Annick is the Cardiff goalkeeper, with Ng, Gutas, McGuinness and Collins the defenders, Siopsis, Ramsey and Wintle in midfield, Ugbo, Grant and Mete up front, and for Swansea City, Rushworth is the goalkeeper, with Darling, Wood and Pedersen the centre-backs. Key and Timon making his Swansea debut on the wing-backs, with Fulton, a late replacement in the side for Joe Allen, who is injured in the warm-up, alongside Grimes and Patino in midfield, and Lowe and Yates are the front two. I'll give you the subs as well. Cardiff, Runnison, Rawls, Etete, Adams, Panzo, Ruben Colwill, Tanner, Minamota and Robinson. And Swansea, Fisher the sub-goalkeeper, Fulton, Cabango, Ginelli, Patterson, Cullen, Ashby, Cooper and Bashir Humphreys, who's joined from Chelsea. It's been a good day for Welsh sport already. Wales 28, Portugal 8 at the Rugby World Cup. Updates of the Rugby World Cup across the tournaments on the TalkSport network. But 3 minutes gone in the 65th league meeting and the 116th meeting all time in the South Wales derby, and it is Cardiff 0, Swansea 0, and both sides just settling into the game very early on. Chris Iwelumo.
Yeah, it's important now. Cardiff are kind of slowing it down, using the ball, keeping it at the back. It's just a setup of Swansea, very compact, not putting pressure on them, which I understand. As soon as Cardiff come into that middle third, that midfield third, then that's when Swansea will go and press as a unit. Lots of ones and twos, and like you say, force the error.
Great to see the Cardiff City Stadium so full tonight. Josh Key has the ball for Swansea on the far side of the field, and he's tackled by a combination of Collins and the Greek player Siopsis, who was brought in the summer, having previously played under the Cardiff manager Erol Bulut at Alanyaspor in Turkey in 2019-2020. Two new faces in the dugout for Cardiff and Swansea, of course, this season. Erol Bulut, yet another a new boss at Cardiff City. The fifth successive season they have begun with a new manager, and of course Michael Duff, who's standing on the edge of his technical area in a big grey puffer jacket, arms behind his back, the head coach at Swansea, and going in search of his first league win in charge of the club tonight. And Chris, you know Michael Duff well from your days together at Burnley.
Yeah, you know what, I think you understand that he's under pressure. He will get time. but it's a result business, so he understands that as well. But you know what, he's dominating games with the ball. They've got to be clinical when those chances present themselves, and how they manage games as well. I think both these teams, the points that they're throwing away, you know, I think Swansea are top of that chart, 6 points from winning possessions.
And Cardiff just behind them.
And yes. So again, it's something Errol Bullitt will definitely be saying. They're doing the right thing, getting the game getting in the lead in certain games, but then it's how you manage games. Whatever scenario the game throws at you, you've got to be able to manage that and deal with it.
Total noise all around the Cardiff City Stadium in the first 5 minutes, but Cardiff 0, Swansea 0 it remains. Busy day in the Championship. Preston North End stayed top of the table after beating Plymouth by 2-1. Ipswich second after winning at Sheffield Wednesday, was still yet to pick up a point in the Premier League. Manchester City top after winning at West Ham. Tottenham second after 2 late goals saw off Sheffield United. Liverpool into third after beating Wolves live on TalkSport. Brighton fourth after winning 3-1 at Old Trafford. That was the game you heard live on TalkSport 2. Villa 3, Palace 1, Fulham 1, Luton 0. The scores in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League on what has been a busy day around the grounds around the country. And in the 5:30 kickoff, Callum Wilson's penalty gave Newcastle a 1-0 victory over Brentford, a much needed win for Eddie Howe and co. Flicked by Mate down the right hand side for Cardiff, cleared away by Pedersen, who's had a couple of early touches on his Swansea debut. The former Birmingham City player was brought in from Cologne right at the end of the summer window, and now head tennis in the middle of midfield. Fulton gets up and a flick downfield by Lowe for Swansea towards his strike partner Jerry Yates, the more diminutive of the two, and Yates in the pink boots wins a free kick just inside Cardiff territory, and the referee Sam Barrett tonight was perfectly placed to spot the offence. 0-0.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the way that Swansea are trying to get it down, trying to play. You know, Cardiff are on the front foot, making sure they're putting that pressure on. It was a little bit of a naughty one there, just kind of came through the back of them, but it's important. You know, they keep trying to play, have that belief. And I think that's what Michael Duff he's not against going direct, but it has to be forward with quality.
The ball is floated into the penalty area by Grimes on the diagonal. The Swansea captain, Pedersen, sliding, stretching, scoops the ball up into the air, but can't keep it in play. In fact, effectively, it was a good clearance inadvertently from Pedersen. And now Cardiff have the ball with Ramsey, driving over the halfway line with those quick shuffling feet. So much experience from Aaron Ramsey on the biggest of stages, but it's only his second appearance in a South Wales derby. The previous one that he played was back in 2011. It did finish in a 1-0 win to Cardiff that day, but Cardiff ultimately have won just one of the last 9 meetings between these two. That was at the Swansea.com stadium in March of 2021. Swansea have won the last 4 meetings between these two. Throw upfield by Darling. The supporters are on their feet all around the stadium. It really is ferocious, the atmosphere here. And a tackle on Ugbo that was a poor one from Pedersen means that Swansea give away a free kick about 10 yards into their own half. Pedersen quickly scampered away from the referee there, Chris.
Yeah, if you go, you know, I think it was good control, get into possession, make yourself big and strong. Pedersen just comes through the back of him there. You know what, it's brave from Pedersen as well, because he's trying to just kind of put the head on it and get a little touch of the ball, and I think it's Ugbo's knee that's up around that kind of similar area. So yeah, it's unlucky. It is a free kick.
Floated crossfield by Ramsey deep to the far post, and Mark McGuinness, the centre-half, who gets up, formerly of Arsenal. That's an easy take, though, for the Swansea goalkeeper, Carl Rushworth, all in bright orange and on a season-long loan from Brighton and Hove Albion. 8.5 minutes played and 0-0 in South Wales. Swansea all in white, boos and whistles whenever Swansea have possession, and the ball is clattered high upfield by Christian Pedersen towards the halfway line. It's met by a firm clearing header from Cardiff's Ryan Wintle, and now the Greek defender Goutas is there to shepherd it back to goalkeeper Anik, and Anik clears up into the dark night sky, first time and high left-footed. That giant Ninian stand on the far side of the field, the opposite side to where we're sitting in the main stand. Both tiers open today, which isn't always the case at the Cardiff City Stadium. The referee stopped the game because of a clash of heads involving Carlin Grant and Harry Darling, and Grant of Cardiff City has come up worse, and Sam Barrett just wants to go across and check that he's okay. And Grant, I think, though getting up a little gingerly, will be able to continue. Of course, and so important, these concussion protocols, and so necessary in football these days, but I think both are all right to carry on immediately, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. I've just got to say, I've got to touch on Gutas defending there. You're thinking it's just going to come through and just clip it forward, but again, just having that composure, that bravery, just get the ball, keep possession of the ball and start again, under pressure as well from Simon there as well.
Another summer signing at Cardiff, Dimitrios Gutas. Many changes on and off the pitch in the summer at both clubs. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0 in the South Wales derby. Swansea have possession with Lowe, finding Yates, tight angle on the edge of the penalty area, back towards Lowe's, cross is deflected behind, and Swansea win the game's first corner, away to our left in front of the Canton end, which is packed to the rafters with Cardiff supporters.
Well, straight away you can see there's an understanding between Jamal Lowe and Yates. Similar distance, always around each other, very aware of where each other is, and fantastic link up there as well. As soon as Yates sets it for Lowe, he's back again on the move in the 6-yard box to try and get on the end of it, but it was blocked.
Charlie Patino will take the corner, lofting it high, in swinging, left-footed, nodded down by Harry Darling, who is prolific, the defender, particularly from set plays. More goals than any defender in the top 4 divisions since the start of 21-22. The ball is back out wide on the far side, the Swansea right with Patino on loan from Arsenal. That's a lovely ball deep to the far post, and the goalkeeper diving through the air like Superman, punches it away one-handed. Then the last touch is off Josh Timon, the Swansea debutant, and Cardiff have a throw in their right back position. Good goalkeeping from Jack Anik. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0, and the noise and the energy around the stadium very much yet to abate, Chris Uelema.
Well, I thought it was excellent goalkeeping from Anik there. Made the decision very, very early, came out, had to make contact, very, very good punch as well. Good ball in from Nathan Wood.
Chris and I were here nice and earlier on as the ball is floated upfield towards Ugbo down the middle for Cardiff, headed away by the covering defender Nathan Wood with the dyed blonde hair, and Wood will hack the ball downfield up to the midway point of his own half. Siopsis wins the second ball, gets in front of Patino, who slid in, brought down Siopsis, who's wearing the yellow boots, right in front of the referee, plays a good advantage. Cardiff fans out of their seats for what they judge to be any sort of infraction or foul. There's pressure on the referee, and of course it's a different kind of match, whatever you want to say.
Yep.
If you're the man in the middle, Chris, you've got to be on it as well.
No, you have to. I think taking up very good positions as well. Sam Barrett's the official tonight. So it's important. You have to be up to speed. The fans are going to put as much pressure as they possibly can on you, and you've got to be big enough for that.
As I say, Chris and I were here in the car park hours before kick-off. Both of us very excited, Chris. It's the sort of game that you love to be involved in.
Perfect. The weather as well, Joe. We've touched on it already. just makes the pitch. The ball zip on this grass as well. There's been already a few tasty challenges going.
Well, it's unusual that you see supporters on their feet in the executive areas of the stadium, but there are hundreds of Cardiff City fans in the middle tier of the Ninian stand on the far side who are on their feet. They're close to where the Swansea supporters are located. As Rushworth, the Swansea goalkeeper, clears high and downfield. You can't help but be swept up by the energy of a game like this. Ramsey with a cushion header down the inside right channel for Cardiff. Back is Pedersen to see it back to the goalkeeper, and Rushworth will clatter the ball high and up into the air towards Jerry Yates, easily beaten in the air by the much taller Mark McGuinness, the Cardiff centre-half. Then a flick by Mate downfield. Ugbo, the Canadian international, picks up the ball neatly, threads it up to Ramsey. Ramsey plays it left. Grant's in the area. Grant shoots straight to the goalkeeper, but the offside flag was up anyway on the near side of the field. It went up quite quickly, that checkered flag from the assistant. Swansea get a goal kick, and live on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2, it's still Cardiff City 0, Swansea City 0. Here's the former Stoke striker Chris Uelemo.
Fantastic quality there from Cardiff in that attacking third. Ugbo makes it stick, little nutmeg as well, gives it to Ramsey. Carlin Grant's looking across the line. He's waiting, then he goes far too early. He's offside. It wasn't a great effort on goal anyway, but if he just hangs out a little bit, he can come onto it first time, and he's got the full goal at his mercy there.
Ball is up on the halfway line, and it's chested down neatly by Ugbo again. Ike Ugbo, who has scored 3 goals in 5 league appearances this season since joining Cardiff City on loan from Troyes in France. And just listen to the noise from the Cardiff City supporters. Cardiff have the throw on the far side there left in the left back position, and Charlie Patino of Swansea is jogging towards the near side in that all-white kit. Has he got a problem with a potential injury here. There was a challenge in the middle of midfield, a potential head injury, and Patino is going to be treated, as is absolutely right. And so Swansea temporarily will be down to 10 men with just under a quarter of an hour played. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0 it remains. Neither goalkeeper tested as yet. You're listening to TalkSport 2 with myself, Joe Shannon, and Chris Iwelomo alongside me. NFL back on TalkSport 2 tomorrow. The Bears at the Buccaneers and the Dolphins at the Patriots. We've got commentary of both of those games. And for all of the reaction to the weekend's football, TalkSport Breakfast from Monday morning at 6 a.m. Ali McCoist and Andy Townsend, with Jeff Stelling joining the team in December. Alan Brazil hosting Wednesday to Friday. We had a cracking lineup of guests on TalkSport Breakfast last week. Ashley Young and David Moyes among those on the show, and more of the same to come from Monday morning at 6. Patino back on the field with a big white bandage all around his head. You can't miss him, and the Cardiff supporters appealing to the referee. They feel that Rushworth maybe was taking too long to clear the ball downfield. He does. It lands midway into the Cardiff half, met by the head of Gutas, and then Wintle loses possession, and Fulton will thread it neatly towards the right side channel, and Key in that long sleeve shirt. That's an excellent sliding tackle from Jamilu Collins, who finally, after missing pretty much all of last season due to a knee injury, is a regular in the Cardiff City starting lineup.
I'll have to say Cardiff have settled it quicker, using the ball better, and I think making the better decisions as well. Swansea have to mix up a little bit. They're going direct, not winning those aerial duels and not winning the second balls, so something has to give there.
Offside flag up against Jamal Lowe, and a free kick to Swansea, to Cardiff rather, away to our left hand side. It's Cardiff 0, Swansea 0. Swansea boss Michael Duff has spent the entire game so far in his technical area. Errol Bullitt of Cardiff about 15 yards to his left. The Cardiff boss from Turkey with a dark blue baseball cap on. And Cardiff have possession now with Gutas on the corner of his own penalty area. Back to the goalkeeper, Anik. Just one league win so far for Cardiff this season. 2-1 here against Sheffield Wednesday on the 26th of August. Both teams have found it really hard in recent days to hold on to a lead, as Gutas floats the ball high up the right-hand channel, the near side of the field, and it's out of play for a Swansea throw right in front of us in their left wing-back position. And Timon, with tattoos down his arms, will leave it to Pedersen to come across and take. Timon and Pedersen, two very versatile players in this Swansea City lineup. Pedersen's long throw up towards the halfway line, headed out of play by Siopsis. No questioning the level of commitment on show from both sets of players so far, Chris.
No, definitely not. I think there's an understanding. The game's massive. The players, some players can buckle under this pressure. Swansea are trying to kind of get the ball down and slow it down. But I think it's important that Cardiff are on the front foot, harrying after them, put them under as much pressure as possible, and like you say, forcing that error. That's with Swansea. The Swansea that we've known over the last couple of seasons they welcome that pressure, and they can play through that intense press.
Ramsey, middle of the Swansea half, hits his pass, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. And the Cardiff man, a Cardiff City legend, feels so long ago that he left the club at the age of 17 to join Arsenal way back in 2008. Aaron Ramsey skippering Cardiff City tonight. Joe Ralls is on the bench. He has had a recent injury.
Michael Duff's not happy. Here, Joe, I'm looking at him. He's having a chat with his first team coach.
This has won it back and floated it long, and Mate in a tangle with Pedersen. Nothing given by the referee. Assistant didn't think to flag either. Didn't look like a foul right on the edge of the penalty area. But you're absolutely right, Chris, as Siopsis won yet another second ball in the centre circle for Cardiff City, and Swansea were out-muscled again. Duff just turned towards his technical area and back towards his staff with a massive look of frustration on his face.
Well, it's because Matt Grimes, he's not seen a lot of the ball, so even there in that moment that we've just seen.
Well, Mate's on the burst down the right-hand side, instinctive run. Here comes Nathan Wood to get across for Swansea City. The Cardiff fans in front of us are on their feet. They're packed all around us in the commentary position here. Wood's clearance hasn't gone very far. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0. 19th minute of the derby, live on TalkSport 2. Ball's out on the far side, the left, for Cardiff City and Carlin Grant. Grant waits for Collins on the overlap. Collins crosses, flapped up by the goalkeeper. Ugbo can't bring it down. He wasn't expecting him to reach him. Hacked away by Timon. That was a nervy moment for Carl Rushworth, the Swansea City goalkeeper.
Well, they've done enough. Carl Rushworth, I think he got good contact on it. I've got to say, Ugbo here, has to react better, anticipate it. He's tried to go and put the head on it. The keeper's already on the floor, and you're heading it into an empty goal. He's trying to kind of outstretch the right boot to bring it under control, to try and swivel and get a shot away there.
Well, Mate surely being held by Pedersen in the 18-yard box. Again, the Cardiff fans are out of their seats in their thousands. Referee says play on, and now Swansea on the counter at the other end away to our left. Yates has run a long way, deep towards the edge of the penalty area. Gets beyond Siopsis at least initially. Siopsis then slides in, and Gutas makes a firm but fair challenge as well, and Cardiff scramble it away. You can feel the intensity of the support from the stands transmitting its way onto the pitch. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0. Swansea have the ball on the right with Key. Key crosses in low, takes a deflection, gathered by Jack Anick. 0-0 it remains.
Well, I don't think that's a bad ball from Josh Key there. I think Yates can do a little bit more to get across the front of his man. But again, Yates, they're driving at the defence. He'd already got away from Gutas, and it's important. Commit your player, get a shot away. He allowed the defenders, midfield runner as well, in Fulton to come back and and defensively do his job there. Wintle it was, to come back and got on the back of Yates there.
Well, there is so much live football coming up for you on the TalkSport network. Millwall against Leeds tomorrow at noon on TalkSport 2. Monday night football is Nottingham Forest against Burnley. And then we've got the Champions League and the Europa League back on the network Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, including Newcastle away at AC Milan. Newcastle back in the Champions League for the first time in 20 years. Bayern Munich against Manchester United on Wednesday. Lask against Liverpool, and Brighton against AEK Athens on Thursday. Both of those games are live on TalkSport 2. There's so much to look forward to. Here is Pedersen on the halfway line for Swansea. Sets up Patino with his white bandage wrapped around his head. And now Wood standing tall, the centre half, middle of the three Swansea centre halves in the centre circle.
They're getting no space at all. You're looking at Patino, you're looking at Matt Grimes. They're getting absolutely smothered in there. So they've got to bring a little bit more. Matt Grimes is dropping into that defensive line to receive the ball. Now all across, if you're looking at Pedersen, Darling, and Wood, they can all play out with the ball.
Timon could be in here though, pulling it back from the left wing position, but indeed the flag does belatedly go up, that bright lime green flag on the far side of the field, and it's a free kick to Cardiff City away to our left. We have breezed through the first 22 minutes, nearly halfway through the first half. Goalless it remains, and neither goalkeeper has had a serious save to make as yet. Who will be the happier of the two bosses? I think I know who you're going to say, Chris William.
I think Robert will be delighted with what he's seen at the minute, but again, just an extra little bit of quality needed in that attacking third. I think Michael Duff is the frustration. You want to play through the middle, you want to get Grimes, Patino and Fulton on the ball as often as you can. At the minute, they're not getting anywhere near it, and they're losing that battle.
Gutas in a tangle with Lowe, and Gutas has headed the ball out of play, and it's a corner for Swansea. It was a completely miscued header from the Greek defender, with Lowe just backing into him, and a needless corner given away by Cardiff.
Well, that's it. I think just the pressure from Jamal Lowe there. Gutas got the touch, and then Jamal Lowe just got his body between ball and man, ushered it out. Corner kick, can they capitalise? They are one of the best in the league at going attacking and scoring from corners.
Timon's corner, left-footed out, swinging up to the middle of the 6-yard box, headed away in the end by McGuinness, comes out to Patino, hits it on the volley from the edge of the penalty area, turned up into the air by Wintle. That's a good header, crossfield back out to the left by Key to find Timon. Too much space for Timon as he delivers, headed away, comes out to Grimes on the volley, left-footed, and that's going to drift wide. Difficult effort that for Grimes. He almost had both feet off the ground when he struck it left-footed, and it sliced away from the right-hand post of Jack Anick. And Cardiff 0, Swansea 0 it remains, and if it stays like this, Swansea would of course be without a league win in their first 6 matches of the year, and they'd remain in the bottom 3 in the Championship.
I'm just watching that shot from Grimes there, about 25 yards out. He did have both feet off the ground, Joe, good call, but he had to, because the way the ball was bouncing, just the technique to come across the ball with the left, a little bit of spin on it, but again, never had the accuracy.
Siopsis, the diminutive midfielder, crossfield with a pass right to left to the far side to find Grant. Grant's got Collins racing forward on the overlap in support. Here is Jamilu Collins down by the dead ball line through the legs of the defender, but an interception by Key. Touch was heavy, almost conceded a corner, eventually managed to recover and knock it into touch for a Cardiff throw deep inside Swansea territory.
And I'm looking at Nathan Wood there. I think he can see everything there. Josh Key doesn't have to touch the ball at all. He can come through to Wood to clear the danger. But he done well defensively. Took a big touch, but never let it go out for a corner kick.
Here is Grant, back to goal in the corner of the penalty area, rolls the ball backwards another 5 yards or so to find Siopsis, bright yellow boots on. Siopsis, a tigerish, tenacious sort of player. Crossfield to the right this time, through the air to find Ng. Lots of white Swansea shirts, back behind the ball, Cardiff in dark blue, enjoying the possession for the moment. Here is McGuinness, big centre half. Out wide to Collins in front of the Ninian stand. A half interception by Fulton. The loose ball picked up by Wintle. Wintle angles the ball to the left and Grant collects it all too easily in front of Darling. Grant dribbles away from Darling, who slipped at the vital moment. We've not got much rain in the air now. It's just about stopped, but we had a little bit in the build-up to the game. Drizzle as Collins floats the ball into the penalty area. That's beyond Yaku Mete. And G might reach it though. Down by the corner flag for Cardiff. He hooks it across and it's hooked away cleverly by Pedersen. Left-footed on the volley. Out of play, Cardiff throw. Right in front of our commentary position, 0-0.
It's an excellent ball from Perry and G there. You know, I think he's got to wrap the foot around it as well. I've got to expect more from Patino. He's got to get and stop the cross from coming in. I have to say Pedersen defended well there and got the kind of left foot very high as well to get the clearance, but stop the cross from the get-go there.
Great ball by McGuinness, pinging it onto the right-hand boot of Ng, who sets up Mete inside the right channel. That's an excellent sliding challenge from Christian Pedersen, who you may know, of course, from his championship days, spent 4 years at Birmingham City, and certainly the players that Michael Duff has included tonight from the start. Jamal Lowe on his second debut for the club, but Pedersen and Timon, the other two, coming in to make their first debuts for Swansea. Certainly not the sort of players to be overwrought by a big occasion, Chris.
No, exactly. No, with the experience they've got, the kind of the game time at this level, you know, no matter how big the game is, you know, I think already you can see Pedersen's relishing it.
And Josh Keir's won Swansea a free kick in their right wing-back position. And just watching Michael Duff, who is of the two bosses the closest to as the Swansea head coach, every time his side failed to win one of those second balls in the middle midfield, he sort of claps his hands together in frustration. He's now gone back to sit in the dugout next to his assistant Martin Patterson. But you really feel the sense of frustration emanating from the Swansea manager so far, even though it is still 0-0.
No, you can see that. You know, I think he's not too happy that they're turning down the opportunity to go forward. You know, taking too many touches and getting caught out when they do so. You know, when it's on to go with quality, into body or feet, down the sides, down the channels, I think you can't shy away. You can't push Cardiff back. You know, then you're playing in their defensive area and you're attacking third, and I think that's where he wants to be. But at the minute, too many touches in the defensive and middle third, and the way that Cardiff are pressing with that intensity, they're forcing the error, and then it's straight in. You've got to defend well.
The Catalans Dragons 61, Leeds Rhinos 0 in the Super League commentary that we brought you earlier, live on TalkSport 2. Busy day in the Premier League, wins for Newcastle, Fulham, Aston Villa, Brighton and Manchester United live on TalkSport 2, Liverpool at Wolves on TalkSport, Manchester City and Tottenham, who beat Sheffield United with 2 late goals. A delight for Ange Postecoglou, who was brilliant on White and Jordan earlier this week, and White and Jordan return to TalkSport 10 till 1 on Monday morning. And the Outspoken podcast with White and Jordan is live and online for you after every show each weekday. It's unmissable, I tell you. Perry and G with a cross for Cardiff, high towards Ugbo, could drop on the far post for Grant, he's chested it down, hooks it high, a looping ball into the air, headed clear by Wood, flicked further away from danger by Key, Swansea on the back foot, Cardiff having the better of it, still 0-0, still yet to see a clear-cut chance as Grant balloons in a left-footed cross from that far side, and it's got way too much on it over the head of the two players in blue, and Timon will scamper forward on the counter towards the halfway line for Swansea with the score still 0-0 as we tick towards the half-hour mark. This game is flying by. Chris Owellamo, former Scotland striker, alongside me.
I've got to say it was an excellent ball from Mark McGuinness to find Perry and G on this right-hand side. He just killed it dead. The cross came in very, very early. I've got to demand more from Ugbo. You know, I think he's on the back of Nathan Wood. All you have to do is you need to fight the ball. Nathan Wood already committed himself. He was under it. What, your feet better, Joe? Step it, and he's getting a free header on goal there, but he followed Nathan Wood. So you just got to be aware, see the flight of the ball, read it early, and then try, can you make a contact?
Here is Mete, halfway line back to goal. And Cardiff City forward, he thought he was fouled by Pedersen. That's been an intriguing battle between those two. Two players who are very technically gifted, but also enjoy the physical confrontations, the physical side of the game. Both well over 6 feet tall. Pedersen crossfield, and that's going to go straight out of play. Left to right, behind the run of Josh Key, who went a little early. And of course, two players who are only just getting to know each other at their new clubs, and maybe, I suppose they have had the international break to work together. Crisp, but wires can get crossed occasionally.
Definitely. I've just seen Aaron Ramsey have a proper go at Siopis as well there. You know, not happy with him at all. I think he had the opportunity just to kind of bounce it off him. And then, like you say, as soon as they lose the ball, they go and have to win the ball back.
That's a great ball over the top by Collins towards Grant, and across comes Nathan Wood, sliding in time, that tackle to perfection. Referee says corner in front of those 1,800 or so Swansea fans who are packed in like sardines behind the goal. Lots of white Swansea shirts on show in the away end now. And Grant, well, has he given a free kick here, the referee, Sam Barrett? Maybe he has.
It's never been a free kick, Joe. He's got all ball there, I have to say. It's an excellent run from Karlan Grant in behind. The weight of the ball was excellent. You know what? Nathan Wood was taking no prisoners there whatsoever. You know, he's broke his neck to get there. Timed the challenge. Very strong challenge, but fair.
50th Swansea appearance for Nathan Wood. And Collins has gone across to the far side for Cardiff. And indeed it's a throw, so it wasn't a corner. The ball must have just gone the other side of the corner flag. And it's a throw to Cardiff City on that far side. No wind in the air at all. No rain now. Floodlights on. And just about perfect condition-wise for football, as Cardiff make very little of that throw. And Swansea, to the ironic cheers of the away fans, now have a throw themselves on the far side there, right. So much sport across the TalkSport network, you can barely keep up. We'll have updates from the Rugby World Cup, the F1 Grand Prix tomorrow over on TalkSport, and of course the Premier League goals as they go in with the Sunday session. And TalkSport 2 brings you two crackers from the NFL tomorrow from 6. The Bears at the Buccaneers, and 1:20 a.m. on Monday, the Dolphins at the Patriots. The best way to be across all of the sporting action basically is to download our app. The TalkSport app, you can swipe between stations and games at your leisure. We're available online on DAB, on your smart speaker, via our app, or if you want to listen to TalkSport, of course, on 1089 and 10:53 a.m. Chris has got the app, so why don't you?
I have. I've got to say, Yaku Mete he's an outlet all the time. His movement is excellent. He goes and contests absolutely everything. If anything, he's got an argument to say that he's not getting as much of the ball as he wants.
Here's a chance for Grant from the dead ball line to pull the ball back. It takes a deflection off the heels of Darling, and it'll be swept out of play by Key under pressure. Cardiff City throw deep inside the Swansea half. On the far side of the field, the left, and that huge contingent, that mass of Swansea supporters away to the right who are looking a little more nervous now. And Cardiff have the ball with G on the near side, right in front of the Swansea dugout, and they're watching Michael Duff. And G prods the ball high in field, headed away by Fulton, the number 4 for Swansea. He's giving it straight to McGuinness. McGuinness knocks it downfield first time. Pedersen's cushioned deft touch into the feet of Fulton. Good angled ball threaded forward by Grimes. A great pass for the ball to find Timon, who jinks away from G, and then he's knocked it out to play to the left. And Patino, who has seen fit to get rid of that bandage, that strapping around his head after the clash of heads earlier on. Patino and Timon not on the same wavelength, and it's out of play for a Cardiff throw in the right back position.
Well, it's excellent play from Timon there, and when he gets going, he just usually knocks it on himself. So I can understand why Patino's not switched on there, because, like you say, Timon, the energy that he brings. But you know, you still have to be aware, you still have to be on your front foot there. But Timon, knock it in behind, you've got a full half to run into. It's going to be a running race.
Preston North End top of the Championship once again after their win over Plymouth earlier. Leicester City having risen to the summit temporarily on Friday night after beating Southampton by 4-1 live on TalkSport 2. Ipswich are third after their win at Sheffield Wednesday, who are second from bottom. Middlesbrough have had a dreadful start this season under Michael Carrick after making the playoffs last year. Middlesbrough bottom of the table, just a single point from their 6 games so far. And Middlesbrough, Sheffield Wednesday and Swansea, the 3 sides in the Championship who are yet to pick up a win, at least so far this season. Here is Wood midway inside his own half of the field for Swansea. Square ball to Harry Darling, the number 6.
Look at what options has Harry Darling got?
None.
He gets his head up. That's when Matt Grimes or Fulton or Patino have to come in and give him some options. But as soon as they do, you've got the likes of Wintle, Suppis, and Ramsey just cutting that space up.
Very little in terms of chances created, though, by either team. And Cardiff City are a team who've struggled for goals in the South Wales derby in recent times. Just 3 goals in the last 9 derby matches for Cardiff City. Their last home win, by the way, was about a decade ago, November 2013. A 1-0 victory in the Premier League thanks to Stephen Corker. That feels a long time ago now. Wind just picks up in the press box and team sheets flying everywhere. Chris has managed to hang on to it. Just settled down now, the game certainly on the field. The noise is pretty much just as raucous in the stands, but they're cancelling each other out at the moment, Chris.
No, they are. I've got to say, I think Cardiff are having the better of it. I think using the ball better, but when Swansea have it, you expect options. If you don't have options, then can you go for the likes of Jamal Lowe, Yates, with a little bit of quality into body or feet?
Header away by Pedersen from just inside the Swansea penalty area. Ugbo with his back to goal and the lime green boots on will pick it up in front of Fulton. And actually, has he lost the boot there, Ugbo? He has. He's now put it back on, and Swansea meanwhile have regained possession. And it's Harry Darling charging towards the halfway line, the centre half. A little nudge in the back there from Carlin Grant, and the referee, I think rightly, having played an initial advantage, he's refereed the game very well so far. Sam Barrett pulls the play back for a Swansea free kick. On the halfway line, it's still 0-0 on your home of the EFL TalkSport 2.
It's a clever one from Carlin Grant. I've seen the referee give yellow cards, but he understands what the game means. He doesn't want to bring it out, but he's got to manage it. I think the referee there. But yeah, Carlin Grant lets Harry Darling know that he's very much in a game. Passes the ball away, just leaves a little naughty one on him.
Here is Jamal Lowe, deep inside the Cardiff City half. He's not had much opportunity to showcase his talents on his second debut for the club. He has 2 goals in 2 South Wales derby appearances, having scored twice for Swansea in December of 2020 in this fixture, but Swansea have hardly got the ball into the feet of Lowe or indeed of his strike partner Jerry Yates in the game so far. 0-0.
Yeah, they're feeding off scraps at the minute. I think about time, ball into his feet. I don't think that's a free kick, Joe. I think I've got to say
it's Gutas on Lowe.
Yeah, I think he's marshalled him well. Lowe's took a great little touch with outside of his right boot, but lost his footing.
Swansea have taken the free kick quickly. Swansea all in white, starting to enjoy a little more possession now, playing from right to left in the first half towards the Canton end of the stadium. This spectacular Cardiff City Stadium. You can see it as you approach the ground from some distance away, not far from the old Ninian Park, which was certainly, you'd have to say, a more intimidating venue, albeit the noise here at Cardiff City Stadium before the game in particular was something pretty special. Was that a nudge in the back on Patino from NG? No, says the referee. Michael Duff and his assistant Martin Patterson are complaining to the officials.
We'll wait to see this, if we get to look at this challenge again. I don't know what the ref is, if there's blatantly, there's contact. It's through the ankles,
Well, Mate and NG both come across, and Mate's clipped his heels, and NG, hand on his shoulder, hand on his shirt, that's got to be a free kick.
Well, we've been given the official in some plaudits. He's got to get that one right there, because Platini, I've got to say, he was on his own there, took his men on, and it was definitely a free kick.
We all know the curse of the commentator, Chris Llewellyn, I'm afraid to say. I mentioned the league leaders, Preston North End, in the Championship, Leicester second and Ipswich third. In League 1, Leicester top after a victory over Cheltenham earlier on, and Gillingham top of League 2 after beating Morecambe. Here's Ramsey looking to race down the right for Cardiff City. Nathan Wood beats him to the loose ball. It was Ugbo with an attempt at a flick reverse ball down the inside right channel, and then Ramsey does brilliantly to win it back off Nathan Wood, but the referee has given a free kick because the assistant, who was a couple of yards from the incident, had the best view in the ground of it, decided to flag, and Ramsey is bemused. He thought he was being held, and if anything, Chris, I was actually expecting the decision to go Cardiff's way.
I totally agree. I think Ramsey puts the pressure on Wood, nicks the ball away, then gets his body between ball and man, and that's a free kick the other way, and he actually doesn't put his hand on the ball. If anything, he falls on top of the ball with his chest. I think you're right there. I think the referee's got that one wrong.
Well, both sets of players have cause for complaint in the last few moments. 39 minutes gone. Cardiff City 0, Swansea City 0. The 116th South Wales derby across all competitions, across all time. A fixture that was initially seen as quite a friendly rivalry, believe it or not, but it became much fiercer after the 1960s, and so it has remained. Wales 28, Portugal 8 in the Rugby World Cup earlier. Oh, that's a lovely touch by Nathan Wood to pluck the ball out of the air, racing towards his own goal with Ugbo at his back. Yep. Amazing composure from Wood, who then sends it back to goalkeeper Rushworth, will clear high downfield. You won't see a silkier touch of the ball all weekend anywhere, Chris Wellerman.
I have to agree. And it was on just to kind of go up and win your header and give it to timing there, but fantastic ability from Nathan Wood.
Elsewhere in the Rugby World Cup today, by the way, Samoa 43, Chile 10, Ireland 8, Tonga 3. We'll have updates from the Rugby World Cup on the TalkSport network tomorrow, including England against Japan in Pool D. That will be an 8 o'clock kickoff. Swansea have the ball with Pedersen. It's about 10 yards shy of the halfway line. Pedersen looking very at home already at Swansea City on the left of the back three. Back he goes to Rushworth, the goalkeeper, who hasn't had a save to make. He hoists the clearance high downfield. Header away by Gutas is always going to beat the diminutive number 9, Jerry Yates, in the air. Defence is very much on top at the Cardiff City Stadium so far.
Well, I have to say, Patino's having a chat with Grimes, saying, look, you've got to show away. Now, I think I've got to rotate better. Grimes is always going to be the deeper one, and he always wants the ball, but there's times where he can run away. Patino can come into that space, and then they can build from there. And I think Charlie Patino's actually saying that to Grimes, because he's coming deep, he's looking over, and he's telling him, you pull him away, make my space for me.
Lots of supporters in this main stand heading towards the concourse areas quite early ahead of half-time. Through to Swansea deep inside the Cardiff half. Near side their left wing position. Josh Timon will take it. He's about 10-15 yards from the corner flag. Timon mud on the back of his white shorts. Timon taking his time. Eventually gets it back from Matt Grimes and looks to hook the ball into the penalty area, where it's thundered away from danger by Gutas towards halfway. Pedersen's back pass to the feet of his goalkeeper. Swansea have won the last 4 meetings between the two and looking for an unprecedented 5 wins in a row. 3-2 winners here dramatically last season. Ben Kabanga, who is on the bench for Swansea tonight with a 99th minute winner. A 2-0 last season at the Swansea.com stadium. Here is Josh Key for Swansea, driving for the number 2, deep into the Cardiff half, looking to wriggle away from Collins. Collins has got the better of him though so far in that tussle, and Collins clears. It deflects off the head of Fulton, out of play for a Cardiff throw. And Jamilu Collins has been excellent defensively across the 42 minutes that we've had.
Yeah, I think he has. I think goes and wins his headers, very mobile, I think very timely with the challenges as well, but that energy, he gets forward every opportunity, gives that support to Carlin Grant, underlaps, overlaps, all sorts. I just need to see that end product, and I mean, crosses coming in. That's something that's, you know what, I feel that he's passing that responsibility on when he has that quality.
Here is Timon, about 15 yards into Cardiff territory and 6 or 7 yards infield. Now Grimes, number 8, in a central position. Always been a very silky ball player, Matt Grimes, but the control by Lowe with his back to goal is poor, and Gutas will roll it back to Ng. Generally, the quality of both sides in the final third has been lacking so far. No lacking in terms of commitment, though. Here is Timon on the edge of the box for Swansea. Threads it through towards Fulton, back to goal. Yates will float it into the penalty area. It's headed away, though, by Siopsis, and thundered further clear by Grant towards halfway. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0, deep into the first half. 43rd minute to be exact. Key, jinky away from Collins. Collins slides in to win it back tremendously, and Grant feeds the ball upfield a little too hurriedly. Ugbo can't get to it. Swansea having their best spell of the game, finishing the half stronger, Chris Wellerman.
Yeah, they are. I think Key as well, excellent bit of skill as well. Just couldn't get away from Collins there with another very timely challenge. It's important that when Cardiff win the ball back, moments like this, that Carlin Grant makes the right decision.
We love the EFL on TalkSport 2. We're back tomorrow from noon for Millwall against Leeds, and on Wednesday night for Norwich against Leicester. That's a big game towards the top of the Championship. 4th against 2nd in that division as it stands for the moment. Here is Grimes for Swansea, midway inside opposition territory. Square ball to the feet of Fulton, who was a late replacement for Joe Allen, who I'm told injured his groin in the warm-up, and so Allen can play no part tonight. was going to make his first league start of the season. As the ball is thundered up into the air, very dark skies up ahead now by Perry and G for Cardiff. Oh, and then a miscue between the two defenders, McGuinness and Gutas, but there was a foul in there by Lowe, and Cardiff get a free kick anyway. Just for a moment it looked like there was a miscommunication between two players who, of course, are relatively new to each other. Gutas having joined Cardiff City in the summer. It's petering out this first half.
Yeah, I think the quality is just kind of dying out a little bit, which is a shame. But like you say, I think Gutas and McGuinness, just a little kind of miscommunication there. But again, McGuinness cleared up the danger and invited that challenge from Lowe. You know what, I think Lowe can react better there as well, and capitalise. That's a sore one there for
Christian Pedersen in a clash of heads with Yaku Mete. Not the first clash of heads we've seen tonight. Mate's holding the back of his head but is on his feet. Pedersen's gone to ground, and here come the Swansea medical team, and across come both sets of players to take on water and instructions, of course, to be back in the dressing room in just a few moments, and lots of Cardiff fans as we reach near enough the end of the 45 minutes of normal time, heading for the concourse areas for half-time refreshments of their own. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0. We can tell you on TalkSport 2 that we understand that Neil Warnock is on the brink of quitting as Huddersfield manager. And Warnock's relationship with the Huddersfield hierarchy is at breaking point, and we're told it's likely that Wednesday's visit of Stoke will be his last game in charge. It's understood a mystery overseas boss has already been lined up in preparation for Neil Warnock's departure. So TalkSport 2 understands Neil Warnock is on the brink of leaving Huddersfield. Chris Iwelumo, what do you make of that?
Well, very surprised. I think I've got a few contacts there as well. I think there's a press conference as well, 1 p.m. Monday, that's been booked in. So that's going to be an interesting one. I think they'd be silly to let Neil go. I think he's got a few issues with the support that he's had, about the investment in the group of players and what he's had to do. I think they've re-signed 2 or 3 of the loans that they had last season, but they were already present at the club when Neil came in and kept him up. So I think he's, you're hoping that it's just the kind of politics, what managers have to do, kind of force the hand and get the support. But it's definitely that relationship's been a little bit damaged over the last couple of weeks, because I heard he was going to walk after the West Brom win as well, which was a fantastic win for Huddersfield.
Stay with TalkSport and TalkSport 2 for the very latest. We understand on your home of VFL that Neil Warnock is on the brink of leaving Huddersfield Town. The TalkSport app is what you need to swipe between both stations at your leisure. We're into 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0 in the South Wales derby. Christian Pedersen still waiting to come back on after that clash of heads a few moments ago. Swansea temporarily down to 10. Pedersen screaming to be let back on. He is back on the field now, and Cardiff have won a throw deep inside Swansea territory on the near side, our right. Perry and G will take the throw. We are hearing that Neil Warnock will take the press conference on Monday, but we'll bring you any more developments that we get as and when we get them. Here is Gutas on the halfway line for Cardiff, and he gets it back from Perry and G. 0-0 the score. 2 of the 3 added minutes have been played. Crossfield goes the ball from Gutas deep towards the far side, and Grant taking on Darling here. Ugbo and Mate among those in the middle. Back it goes to Collins, corner of the penalty area. Suddenly Collins picks up the pace, he tries across, it's blocked by Key. That's a throw to Cardiff City, right down by the corner flag on that far side there left.
Well, that's an excellent battle, isn't it, doing that?
Oh yeah.
Collins and Key, excellent defensive work from Key. And I'm thinking Collins, can he get that? And talk about end product, he's got the energy, he's got the quality, but like you said, that's a fantastic battle that I've got to say it's pretty even.
A floated ball into the penalty area by McGuinness. It's Mate with the header away from goal inadvertently by Yaku Mate under the challenge of time, and just got a little nudge in the back. We've nearly had the 3 added minutes in the first half, albeit there was a delay to resuming play, so we've probably got another 30-40 seconds left perhaps. All eyes on Sam Barrett, the referee. That's a driven ball downfield by Anik, the Cardiff goalkeeper, and well controlled in his chest by the impressive Collins on the far side. Floated into the penalty area by Ramsey. Up towards Ogbo. Knocked it down. Mate! Good save by Rushworth to hold on to the ball as well. Down to his left-hand side. Best chance of the game so far. Yaku Mate spinned and turned and tried to weave the ball into the back of the net, but the goalkeeper plunged to his left and was able to keep it out.
Well, I've got to say, I'm thinking Was it the right decision for Matey there? Yes, it was. Ryan Wintle was busting and breaking his neck to get into the box, but I just think he was just too far away. It's an excellent swivel and connection from Matey there. And like I say, Rushworth, fantastic save. You know, I thought he'd parry it away, but good enough to get his hand, smother the ball, and keep possession.
It was close to the goalkeeper, but he had to collapse quickly.
Done very well
to it. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0 it remains. Header out of play by McGuinness. Swansea throw. We are 4 minutes now into first half added time. And now eventually the referee does blow the half-time whistle. All square at the break. Right, Derby Day in South Wales. It's myself, Joe Shannon, and the former Burnley striker Chris Iwelumo alongside me. And Cardiff against Swansea with the score 0-0, and the home team get the game back underway. Cardiff playing from right to left in the second half, all in dark blue, and Swansea all in right, playing from left to right. And Cardiff have won it back straight away with Mayte. Middle of the Swansea half lines, but left-footed shot! What a stop by Rushworth! Mayte absolutely hammered that! Left-footed, it was a cracking strike, and the goalkeeper got one big, strong right hand to it to turn it behind for a corner.
We'll have to say it's an excellent strike from Matey there, an even better save from Rushworth, and it came just straight from the goal kick.
Corner lofted into the penalty area, headed away by Wood. It's come out to Ng, strikes it, bounces up into the air. Mate's header, that's going to trickle wide. I think through the legs of two players, Grant and Key. And out of play goes for a goal kick to Swansea City, away in front of the Canton end to our left-hand side. And Rushworth, the Swansea goalkeeper, with Cardiff fans right behind him, made a super save. That ball was really moving in the air from Mayte.
Yeah, it was, you know, and I think it was a strong arm from Carl Rushworth as well. But it came from just the centre kick. Goes to Perry Ng, the right back. He just clips a nothing ball. There's not even, Mate's not even in that to Pedersen. And then all of a sudden, they force the error. They get the ball in the attacking third, and he's 23 yards from goal. The strike, the power, the accuracy that he got on it. It's an excellent save. Fantastic strike from Matey.
The blue of Cardiff City and the white of Swansea City. No changes at half-time for either team. Cardiff with Anik in goal, and Ng, Gutas, McGuinness and Collins are the defenders. Wintle, Siopsis and Ramsey the captain in midfield. Grant, Mayte and Ugbo the three up front. I'll give you the Swansea side in just a moment as McGuinness clears the ball long towards the halfway line beneath these dark night skies, the floodlights on, and 30,000 or so at the Cardiff City Stadium, a bumper crowd for Derby Day. Swansea have won the last 4 meetings between these two clubs. Such a fiercely contested fixture. Very little historically between the two of them, but certainly Swansea have had the better in recent times. They have Rushworth, as we mentioned. Very good save a few moments ago in goal. With Darling on the ball now, about to take a throw midway inside the Cardiff half, which comes to nothing. Wood and Pedersen are the other two centre-halves. Key and Timon on his debut, the wing-backs, with Grimes, Fulton, the two sitting in midfield, Patino further forward in support of Jamal Lowe, and Jerry Yates up front. I'll give you the two subs benches in a moment. Here is Harry Darling in the centre circle for Cardiff for Swansea City. And now Timon sending it back to the Swansea goalkeeper Rushworth as the rain starts to fall again in South Wales as it did before kick-off. We're 3 minutes into the second half and it's Cardiff 0, Swansea 0. Very few chances in the game. That Mayte effort that drew a fine save from Rushworth, really the biggest chance of the game so far. He had one towards the end of the first half to Mayte, but that has been it in terms of opportunities for either team. Swansea have created nothing really as yet, and they conceded a free kick on halfway that Ramsey takes quickly, driving it on the diagonal towards the right, and Mayte's touch is heavy, the former Reading man. He almost flies into the advertising hoardings there, Chris Iwelumo, and it's out of play for a Swansea throw 0-0.
Yeah, well, I have to say I think it was Swansea that were doing the better, you know, using it. Grimes was getting on the ball, and then he gives it away, and I've got to say he comes on the back of Siopis and pulls him. Now Barrett, the referee's right up in position. I think a yellow card has to come out there. You know, there's no intention at all. If anything, it's just stopping Cardiff from breaking and getting up the pitch. But he just told Grimes to kind of slow it down, calm it down, and allowed the game to kind of go on. So it's I don't know if it's good officiating or not. I think a yellow card should come out for that.
Ramsey, number 10 on the halfway line. He picks the pass beautifully, crossfield and looping high to the left to find Grant. Grant with a long sleeve shirt on, controls it well in front of Darling. Cardiff playing from right to left. It's Grant's cross headed away from inside inside the penalty area by Nathan Wood. It's come back towards Grant again, manages to knock it into the path of Wintle. Sliding across that sodden turf was Darling, he was beaten to it. Now NG on the Cardiff right. Poor ball by NG, intercepted by Timon. Deep inside Swansea territory. Swansea can try and build from the back, and it's Patino. Silky skills from the Arsenal loanee to glide past 2 now, and now 3 in blue. Patino wriggles away from Siopsis, sets up Fulton. Fulton, the Swansea number 4, onto Lowe. Middle of the Cardiff half, out wide to the near side, and Darling. Lots of Cardiff fans returning to their seats in the main stand all the time. Our commentary position to the right of the halfway line, about 20 rows or so from the front, very close to the dugouts. I can see Michael Duff, the Swansea head coach, issuing instructions from the edge of his technical area, and Errol Bullitt, the Cardiff manager, to his left. He's still wearing that baseball cap. And Collins in the left-back position for Cardiff. Neat 1-2 with Siopsis. Now he pushes it forward to Grant. Grant is inside the Swansea half. He skips away from Darling. Thought he was fouled. Wood gets across. Shepherds it back to the goalkeeper. Was there anything in that, Chris?
No, I never thought there was much in that there, but I've got to say Collins again, great defending, and then putting it forward for the likes of Carl and Grant. I just thought it was good defending. I didn't think he was going to get on the end of that one there, Joe.
And certainly the tempo and pace of the game is there.
Yes.
But there has been a lack of quality in the final third. That's a poor clearance from the Cardiff goalkeeper. Annex slices it. An ugly clearance high up into the air. And Gutas has to flick the ball clear with his head, the Cardiff centre-half, and then it's poked downfield towards the halfway line by Collins. A real midfield battle for the most part in this South Wales derby. Pedersen tangles with Mate. Mate commits the foul, and a free kick to Swansea on the halfway line, and that has the Cardiff fans all around the stadium. They're on 4 sides, up on their feet in protest at Sam Barrett, the referee.
Yeah, I think Mate was a little bit kind of frustrated there. I think it was Grimes or Fulton that was just pulling on the back of him. So then when Pedersen's got to the ball first, and yeah, the referee's got it bang on. You know, I think Mate can't pull Pedersen back the way that he did.
A big sporting day involving teams from Wales. Wales 28, Portugal 8, a final score at the Rugby World Cup. We brought you Super League commentary earlier too of Catalan Dragons' thumping win over Leeds Rhinos on TalkSport 2. The NFL returns tomorrow with 2 commentaries. Grant surging down the Cardiff left. Can he get away from Darling? He pulls it back, cut up by the excellent Nathan Wood, who's been superb so far on his 50th Swansea appearance. Clears the ball out of play. Cardiff throw right by the corner flag, and Siopsis has thrown his shirt off here. He needs a new one, and Siopsis is still putting his shirt on as he receives the ball from Ramsey. I've never seen anything like that, Chris.
Yeah, it's one of them that's the referee's allowed it to carry on. I've got to say, much better from Carl and Grant there. 1v1 with Harry Darling, runs him to the line, gets there, and it's good defensive play by Nathan Wood, I think it was again, who was defensively in the right position for the Carl and Grant cross.
Manolus Siopsis can multitask immensely.
It was
never seen a player putting a shirt on and passing the ball at the same time before. It was over his head as he kicked it. Now that is something, Chris. I bet you never had to do that in your playing days.
I struggled to kick it with the shirt on properly.
Chris Iwelumo, former Burnley Stoke striker, alongside me for commentary here tonight. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0. We are nearly 8 minutes into the second half now. And by the way, elsewhere in the Rugby World Cup today, Samoa 43, Chile 10, and Ireland 31, Tonga 6 is the latest score from that tournament in France. We'll have coverage across the TalkSport network, including on the Sunday session tomorrow. We'll give you all the Premier League goals in the Sunday session as well as they go in. The best way to stay across all the action on the network is to download the TalkSport app. We've got the Champions League and the Europa League returning next week. Newcastle back in the Champions League at AC Milan on Tuesday. Manchester United in Munich on Wednesday, having been beaten today by Brighton in the Premier League, live on TalkSport 2, and the Europa League back on Thursday. Liverpool and Brighton in action, both games again live here on TalkSport 2. Early stage of the second half and 0-0 in the South Wales derby. Grimes beaten to it on the slide by Collins. Grimes can't get back up, but Cardiff have got possession. Mate caught in the penalty area. There's danger here, and the curling effort is saved by Rushworth. The shot was a little too close to the goalkeeper in the end. Rain really teeming down now in South Wales at a rapid pace, and there was quite a pace to that Cardiff counter-attack after Grimes lost out in midfield, but Swansea get away with it this time. How much longer can they keep getting away with it, Chris Iwelumo?
You know what, Cardiff are definitely looking the more threatening. Collins again with that very timely challenge on Grimes. Great ball out to Mété, just opened up the goal. Excellent first touch and then went with the left with pace. But like you say, good hands from Rushworth again.
It's really heavy now, the rain, considered illuminated by the floodlights. Still there are Cardiff fans returning to their seats. Nearly 10 minutes into the second half here, a bumper crowd. Lots of blue on show everywhere you look. And of course nearly 2,000 travelling fans from Swansea as well. Michael Duff, the Swansea boss, isn't happy about something, but his team have possession, given away sloppily though by Patino, hammered downfield immediately by Wintle, towards the left at Ugbo, shoving the back of Wood. That's an obvious Swansea free kick, and something's got to change in the game, you feel, for Swansea if they're to really seize control and find a breakthrough.
No, they have to be better on the ball. Understand, they're seeing a lot of it, but in the defensive and in middle third, I don't see any quality going up to the likes of Lowe or Yates. On the other side of it, an opportunity there, Ike Ugbo putting Nathan Wood under a lot of pressure. You don't have to do a silly, if anything, just cross him one way. You don't put the shoulder into the middle of his back. You're letting Swansea off there.
Well, one thing I must do is give you the subs. Fisher, the Swansea goalkeeper, Kukarevich, Cabango, Ginelli, Patterson, Cullen, Ashby, Cooper and Bashir Humphreys on loan from Chelsea. And for Cardiff, the subs, Runnison, the goalkeeper, Rawls, Etete, Adams, Panzo, Ruben Colwill, Tanner, Rinomota and Robinson. No changes as yet, no sign of imminent changes, though both sides have players warming up. Errol Bullitt and Michael Duff standing either side of the halfway line in the driving rain. It's Cardiff 0, Swansea 0. Swansea all in white, playing from left to right. And that's a poor layoff by Yates. He's hardly had a touch of the ball, knocking it out of play. Cardiff fans in the second row from the front in front of us are getting absolutely drenched, but there are 4 of them who are on their feet now. And the rain is getting heavier all the time. You might be able to hear it careering against the roof. Big battle in the middle midfield. Fulton and Siopsis, and Fulton is in trouble here. That was a poor challenge. Referee's got the card out of his pocket. It'll be a yellow card. There are words exchanged between both benches as well. Errol Bullitt is having words with the 4th official, and this is where the South Wales derby starts to get very spicy indeed. It'll be a yellow card, I think, here for Fulton.
Well, the referee, I think he was right up to speed there. The yellow card came out straight away. He's argued his case, and I need to see it again because Fulton believes that he made a strong challenge, but he believes it was fair. I'm looking at it now.
Well, Fulton on Siopsis, with Wood having won the first challenge, and then Fulton came in hard, and I tell you what, it was a lunging challenge. Studs up with his right foot. Was it out of control, Chris?
No, I think it was controlled, and Studs up, he's trying to play the ball, so he's going to try and hit the ball with the biggest part of the foot, and he's sweeping through, and that's where he makes the connection. He doesn't go leading with the studs there, Joe, so I think the referee's got that one bang on.
Free kick to Cardiff City, 0-0 the score, floated into the area by Aaron Ramsey, headed away by Harry Darling of Swansea City. 0-0 it remains as we tick towards the hour mark. Some of the Cardiff fans are so wet, they've had to go back to the concourse areas. I think they're going to try and watch the game from there. Long ball downfield by Siopsis towards the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Ramsey brings it down with that neat touch, that deft skill that we all know that he has. Even at the age of 32, the Wales national team captain, who of course was a slight doubt after a knock that he took on international duty. He was never going to miss a fixture like this today, Chris.
No chance. I think what he brings, just that calmness. You already see some of the touches that he's had. He's not really influenced the game as much as what I thought he would, but I think both teams have just cancelled each other out, and especially in that midfield.
The well-travelled Chris Iwelumo. I say that because Chris was part of our Scotland-England commentary team earlier this week. And now down to South Wales. And Mété is trying to spin and turn away from the defender. It's cleared away upfield by Swansea City. It was a risky challenge from Harry Darling. I think Mété maybe slipped. The surface is really sodden and soaked through now. Swansea on the attack, a rare attack for them. Patino with a poor pass, intercepted by Ng. He tried to thread it, did Patino, the 19-year-old, into the path of the overlapping Timon. He couldn't do so, and now Timon looks towards the referee, and he could be in trouble for a poor challenge on Ramsey. Maybe the conditions are not helping some of these challenges, Chris. Maybe they make it look slightly worse than it actually was when you see a player sliding right across the turf. But certainly the referee's going to have words with Josh Timon. Cardiff 0, Swansea 0. We've certainly got most of the ingredients that a derby encounter would want. It's just a talking to for time, but still no goals.
Yeah, I think it was just an opportunity. Yeah, do you know what? I think a yellow card has to come out there. There's no intention to play the ball whatsoever. The ball's released in time and knows exactly what he's doing there. Just leaving one on Ramsey there.
What a day of football we've had across the TalkSport network. And more live football tomorrow with Millwall against Leeds in the Championship, and all the reaction to the weekend's action on TalkSport Breakfast Monday morning from 6 with Annie McCoist and Andy Townsend. Jeff Stelling is joining our team from December. Alan Brazil continues to host Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays, and we had Ashley Young and David Moyes on the show this week just gone. Lots more lined up for the week to come. Now then, there's a throw on that far side for Swansea, which Pedersen with the orange boots will take. Cardiff fans all behind him. We've reached the hour mark and it's still goalless. Header away by Grimes for Swansea. Back into the danger zone by Siopsis, but there wasn't enough on that header to really direct it into the path of a teammate in blue. Pedersen has let it trickle out of play, and it's gone out of play for another throw to Swansea right by the corner flag. And Swansea, it looks like, preparing to bring Jamie Patterson into the game as Harry Darling cushions a header towards the halfway line. And now Jerry Yates has beaten Goutas to it. Rather hesitant Goutas, but he was helped out by his compatriot fellow Greek Siopsis, who's there to shepherd it back to Jack Hanning. It's Cardiff with most of the possession, but chances have very much been few and far between so far.
Well, I think Jimmy Patterson over the last couple of years scored a couple of goals in this exact fixture as well, Joe. So he's got that quality, he brings that intensity as well, and he scores important goals in these games.
Preston North End top of the Championship after beating Plymouth earlier. Leicester second after their win in the Friday Night Football over Southampton, live on TalkSport 2, and Ipswich into third after a win at Sheffield Wednesday. In the Premier League today, wins for Manchester City, for Liverpool, for Brighton at Manchester United, live on TalkSport 2. For Tottenham, 2-1 against Sheffield United. We understand that Paul Heckingbottom is under pressure. Mate charging down the Cardiff right. Ogbo in the middle, the cross is in low! Turned behind by Darling, because Grant was coming in at the far post, and he'd have had a tap in. Darling facing his own goal, did the right thing. Cardiff City corner to great roars from the Canton end of the stadium.
What else can Mate do there? It's an excellent ball across. Ogbo's got to get some sort of contact. Callan Grant's got to anticipate it, get across the front of his man there, and he's getting a tap in. He's getting a tap and break your neck to be there.
It's Ramsey with a corner. Goutas goes up for the header at the near post. He's beaten to it by Pedersen. Goutas shoots right-footed, and it's going to go wide of the side netting. Slightly off balance there, the Greek defender with the white boots on. And it's a goal kick, and Swansea are now going to make a double change. And it's Jamie Patterson and Josh Ginelli who are going to come on. And Jamal Lowe will see his return to Swansea, his second debut, cut short after 62 minutes, gets the applause from the mass of travelling fans behind the goal to our right, and Jerry Yates coming off as well. So it's the front two for a new attacking pair, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. I think Ginelli as well, just fresh legs coming on, the quality of Patterson as well, who'll drift all over wide areas, cut in, get shots away, deliveries. So it's an interesting one, but again, they need to be given the service, they need to be given the ball.
Well, Jamie Patterson has scored in the South Wales derby before, onto the field in place of Jerry Yates, and Lowe also leaving the field. And as we say, Josh Ginelli, who was Michael Duff's first signing of the summer from Hearts, is the other man to come onto the field. Goal kick taken long by Rushworth, the Swansea goalkeeper. Swansea have Patino receiving treatment at the moment off the field, so they're temporarily down to 10. It looks like a more concern maybe after that clash of heads that he had in the first half of Patino, and he's going to have a change of shirts. So I think there's a cut to the head of Charlie Patino, which is why he's temporarily receiving treatment. Cardiff looking to make the most of their man advantage. It's 0-0 on TalkSport 2 in the 64th minute. Ramsey pokes the ball to the left, and Grant. It's the kind of game where maybe one goal would be enough to win it for either team. Even this early on in the second half, relatively speaking, there's still 27 minutes to go. Ramsey spinning and turning and crossing high left-footed, but there's too much on that. It's going to spin and swerve. Is it going to roll out of play? Yes, it does, belatedly, for a goal kick to Swansea.
I've got to say, it's fantastic quality from Aaron Ramsey. I think he's already got away from his man. Great little bit of skill to kind of cut back and put the cross in, if anything, and just put it out to Callan Grant or Collins. It was out on the left hand side. The ball, wasn't great ball, but get the shot away. You know, as soon as you get that yard, you're on the 18-yard line. Ask that question of the goalkeeper.
Still that torrential rain unending in this second half at the Cardiff City Stadium. Still Cardiff pushing and looking the more likely of the two. Crossed by Mate is looping, gathered by Rushworth into his chest. He let the ball drop there, the goalkeeper safety first instead of taking it high over his head. He was backpedaling too. Done an excellent job, the Brighton loanee tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking at the ball coming in from Mate there, and I guess I'm going back to when I played, Joe. I think that the ball and the goalkeeper's in the back of the net. You know, if it's one of those things, I've got to go and challenge. You know, I remember I used to get taken off if I never did that to the goalkeeper back in the day when I first came through.
Who would take you off?
Jimmy Bowen, the manager, the manager, took me off. He said, "That's your chance to take a yellow for the team there. Let's see if he comes out and gets the next one."
That is brilliant. Now, you don't see that very often in the game these days.
Game has changed, my friend. Game has changed.
Chris Iwelumo, who played extensively in the Championship as a striker, the likes of Burnley and Stoke City and Watford, among others. Colchester United as well. As the Welsh national anthem rings around the stadium here, we're ticking towards the final quarter of the game. Got 120 EFL commentaries for you this season, 450 matches on the TalkSport network. Monday Night Football is Nottingham Forest against Burnley in the Premier League on TalkSport. Ramsey edge of the box here for Cardiff, twisting away from two in white, but lots of white shirts behind the ball. Goes out wide to Ng, and G crosses, headed away. Now Collins in a central position, urged to shoot from range. It's blocked by Key. But he was never likely to score from 45 yards, Jamilu Collins. And it's chipped down the right wing position by Giannelli for Swansea. That's an intelligent ball. Patterson is after it. Inside right channel. Controls by the edge of the penalty area. Pulls it back to Giannelli. Giannelli from an angle will shoot. It's blocked by sliding Gutas. And Gutas had to time the challenge. The second tackle on Fulton perfectly. Fulton appealed. Then Gutas gives it away. Timing from range. Blasted over the bar. Wasted opportunity for Swansea. Still 0-0. And frustration from the Cardiff fans to the referee, Chris. And no doubt the Swansea fans for that waste of a shot from Timon, who can hit them from range.
Yeah, he can, but I've got to say, I think Giannelli and Patterson already shown good quality. You know, I think a little ball down the line from Giannelli, Patterson onto it, shouldn't really make it. He's onto it, kept it alive, and he finds Giannelli again breaking into the 18-yard box. Very, very timely challenge with McGuinness and Gutas there, but again, it's, you know, the good quality in that attacking third, but Gutas has to defend better. Had the option to find Mate on the right-hand side, and it was a poor ball out that invited Swansea in time to get that opportunity.
Errol Bullitt, the Cardiff boss, just whistling towards one of his players. When someone says Derby to me, I know what it means. That's what Errol Bullitt said before the game. Managed in Turkey with Fenerbahce, so he knows a thing or two about fierce rivalries, that is for sure. Won the Turkish League title as a player, did Errol Bullitt. Ping ball crossfield by Siopsis for Cardiff, headed away, poor clearance by Darling though. It's come back to Ugbo, rams the edge of the D, slipped to the vital moment, and Wood was there to make the interception, and 0-0 it remains. Swansea, remember, have won the last 4 South Wales derbies. They struck very late on to win this derby, this fixture here at the Cardiff City Stadium last season. We're in the 68th minute this time. Josh Key crosses in low, and it's cut out at the near post by McGuinness. Collins prevents the ball from going out to play for a corner. Excellently done to hook it clear on the volley first time left-footed.
Yeah, well, I think Key and Collins, the battle's been excellent. You know, good quality as well. I think it's not a bad ball from Key from the right-hand side, putting it in. I think Giannelli can do more to get across the face of McGuinness there. But like you say, I think Collins has been ever present defensively and getting forward as well.
Good turn by Bettino from the lip of the centre circle, but then it was conversion upon by 3 in blue, and he could only float it forward into the gloves of Jack Anick, who's not had a serious save to make yet. The Cardiff goalkeeper recalled to the side this evening, having missed the last 2. The new goalkeeper, Alex Runnison, had played the previous 2 matches, the win at Birmingham in the Carabao Cup and the defeat to Ipswich last time out, but Anick back in the team today. And it's Anick with the short-sleeved black shirt on, who hammers it downfield. Mate's flicked header is going to go out to play. A couple of big bits of managerial news for you that we brought you earlier on TalkSport 2. We understand that Neil Warnock is on the brink of leaving his job at Huddersfield, that despite a 2-0 win over Rotherham earlier. And Paul Heckingbottom, we understand, under increasing pressure at Sheffield United after they were beaten late on by Tottenham in the Premier League. Wintle trying to surge forward for Cardiff down the right. Loose ball dropped to Ramsey, deep inside the penalty area. Ramsey twisting, turning, crossing, Ugbo! Oh, it could almost fall for Grant. It does. Back to goal, Grant shoots. Turned away by a retreating Fulton almost from on the goal line. Two half chances in quick succession for Cardiff City, and then Grant is sent sprawling by a sliding key, and Cardiff have a free kick deep into opposition territory in the left wing position. 0-0. Here's Chris Uwelemo.
Well, I've got to say it's an excellent ball in. I think it's from Ramsey here, and it's, big ball, he's just timed it incorrectly, hasn't he? He's got a free header. I think Callum Grant does ever so well. It was going wide anyway. It was a good little clearance from Fulton. But like you say, just kept the pressure on, picked up the second balls, and then now they've won themselves a free kick in the wide area, but much better from Cardiff.
First Cardiff change, off goes Ike Ugbo, and on comes Ollie Tanner. 20 minutes to make himself a hero, the 21-year-old Ollie Tanner, who has made now all 4 of his career league appearances, if you include tonight, this season. Just one league start in his career for the player who used to play in non-league with Lewis until 2022, and he's straight into the penalty area for this Cardiff free kick in a dangerous position on the near side, the left. Cardiff, who have only won one of the last 9 meetings with Swansea, and no home victory in the South Wales derby in a decade. Collins and Ramsey standing over the free kick. Ramsey one hand up into the air, left wing position. Ramsey right footed, poor delivery, headed away easily by the first man, Key. Ramsey would love that back. Collins pings it crossfield on the diagonal, left to right. That's a much better pass, and Tanner's first touch is a good one. He controls, he shoots! Oh my goodness me! That is a fairy tale goal from Ollie Tanner! His first for Cardiff City sends shockwaves through South Wales. This stadium is shaking to the noise of Cardiff cheers. Ollie Tanner has come off the bench and made himself a Bluebirds hero. And with 20 minutes to go, it's Cardiff 1, Swansea 0. What a moment in the driving rain for Ollie Tanner.
Great to see this, Joe. What a finish. Collins with a big switch of play. It's a touch for me. His first touch just opens it all up. Big touch, opens up the goal. What a strike that is with his left foot. I've got to say, Rushworth has no chance whatsoever. It's come through a few bodies. The power, the accuracy. It's just, he just made it happen. Opened up the goal, got away from his man, timing there. And what a finish that is. Struck it, put the laces right through it, finds the bottom left-hand corner. Outstanding shot. What a goal for the young lad.
Can you believe it? Cardiff 1, Swansea 0. Ollie Tanner off the bench, and within seconds, with virtually his fourth touch of the game, a first Cardiff goal, a first senior goal at this level of football, and Cardiff can smell a first term win in this fixture in a decade. Swansea on the attack straight away at the other end, but Cardiff, you feel, deserved the advantage overall. That was a moment that these Cardiff fans and Ollie Tanner will never forget. Chris Uwelemo, that is why we love football.
Well, this is it exactly. The reaction as well. This I'm just watching him now, just smiling, can't believe it. Excellent goal, and he made it all himself there as well. Got at his man, opened up the goal, and he just let fire. He's fed off this atmosphere. Listen to this place now, absolutely rocking.
The noise is deafening. The best part of 30,000 in tonight, and the vast majority are bouncing with delight. Quite literally. The ball is floated high down the Swansea right, and the referee is flagging for a foul by Ginelli on McGuinness. And a free kick to Swansea. This game needed a goal. It's got a goal, and a very special one at that.
Yeah, fantastic strike from the young lad. I've got to say, I think Swansea have now went with a little bit more quality down the channels. Ginelli, Patterson on the end of it. Ginelli's given away a poor free kick. He's soft one as well. Or McGuinness, just don't put him under any pressure whatsoever. Do not put your hands on him. Just try and force the error. Let him know that you're there without contact.
Long ball downfield by the goalkeeper Anik. High towards Mate, who's trying to flick it on. Mate has given the ball straight back to Swansea, and there's a foul by Patino, who's converged upon by both Tanner and Mate. Swansea take the free kick quickly, but the referee's asked for it to be brought back. So it's Cardiff 1, Swansea 0. Ollie Tanner left-footed into the corner, straight off the bench for his first Cardiff goal to give them the lead, and they've got 16 minutes plus stoppage time to hold out here, Chris.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I think this is something that's been very evident. Getting the lead, not managing games. Dropped far too many points already from winning positions. So it's feed off this atmosphere, make the right decision, be composed, but be aware that you're gonna have to kind of defend for your lives now, because Swansea have to react because they've not shown up this evening.
Well, we are seeing that goal again and again and again, curling away from Rushworth into the corner on our monitor here at the Cardiff City Stadium, and then the players are all sliding in celebration, sliding in the rain. Mate might have an issue here. He's been helped to his feet by the two physios, and Mate, I think, is going to try and run this off. There's no sign of an imminent change for Cardiff City. Errol Bullock, we've just seen his celebration, punching the air with glee. But Michael Duff, the Swansea boss, is now heading for 4 defeats in his first 6 matches in charge, and they'd be without a league win.
Yeah, it's hard times, isn't it? You've got to affect it. You've had a couple of weeks after a defeat, a game that you were leading, and you lose the points, you lose the game. Then you've got to kind of that hangover. You've got to try and motivate the squad and get a rise out of them. They've not turned up tonight. A big game. Atmosphere's been excellent, but again, you need to get.
Tanner racing forward down the Cardiff right. He's on fire. He was body checked by Pedersen. Pass infield intercepted by Timon. Wintle had to be careful, looking over his shoulder with Patterson in close attention. Cardiff go back to their goalkeeper. Cardiff leads Swansea by a goal to 0. Anik long downfield, headed away by Harry Darling for Swansea. Josh Key picks the ball up and he's given it away. Straight to the feet of Ramsey. Ramsey driving forward inside left channel for Cardiff. Not really got anybody through the middle in support as Mate comes back on, having temporarily gone off. And here is Collins letting the ball trickle out of play for a throw to Cardiff City. He's given it to Siopsis. Back it goes to McGuinness. McGuinness plays it square to Gutas. Gutas about 15 yards shy of the halfway line. 1-0 to Cardiff with 14 to go. Perry and G wins the throw for Cardiff on that far side, the right. That noise deafening again, Chris.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere, isn't it? I think Cardiff just slowing it down now, just keeping possession, moving the ball quickly, really frustrating Swansea. They've got to take necessary risks now. Players have got to be out of position, try and force the error, and then try and get those overloads either down either side or centrally.
Well, the game has been stopped with the rain still torrential because there's a Swansea player receiving treatment on the edge of the penalty area at the moment. You can hear the rain again hammering on the roof as Swansea are going to bring on Liam Cullen very shortly, a man who has scored here in Swansea's 3-2 win back in April. He is Swansea through and through. Joined the club at the age of 8, and it's Grimes who's been treated for Swansea, and he's now back on his feet, the captain. Wind is picking up a bit as well. Swansea fans look disconsolate, but the Cardiff fans are singing in the rain. And this is why the EFL is so good. This is why the Championship is up there with the best leagues in the world. You just don't get games like this in other countries, Chris.
No, you don't. Listen to this support as well. Fantastic. Even the Swansea fans, they're sticking out. I guess they can't go anywhere with the bus and the way the security works here. But I've got to say, I think Cardiff have been the better team tonight. They've just got to make sure they manage the game and see it out. A few changes coming.
Well, Cullen, we mentioned, is going to come on very shortly. Swansea temporarily down to 10 with Grimes having gone off. I'm sure there'll be a lot of added time at the end of the game, and there's still 12 minutes of normal time to go. Cardiff leads Swansea 1-0. Wintle's touched it on to Ramsey. Ramsey spins away from the defender. Could be in here down the right. Ramsey clips in the cross. Grant heads over from 6 yards. Should have been 2. Should have been game over.
Yeah, I've got to say, Ramsey, excellent bit of skill as well. Picks Carlin Grant out. He broke his neck to get there. I'm trying to think, is he under the ball? He still got up and made the connection. He's just got to make sure he hits the target, and that's in the back of the net. Breaks his neck to get there. It's a free header. He stoops. The way that he goes to head it, he's tried to head it with the top of his head there. I think it's come off the shoulder. He's got to make better purchase there, and that's in the back of the net. It's an excellent ball from Aaron Ramsey.
Some Cardiff fans again leaving their seats and trying to get high to the back of the stand to watch the game from a slightly drier position. Cardiff 1, Swansea 0. 11 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And there's a free kick to Swansea, right on the halfway line here. And they're still waiting to bring on Cullen. And actually here, Cullen is he going to put his jacket back on? Are they? No, they're not going to make the change. Not immediately, Swansea anyway. He's going to put his jumper back on. Maybe he's doing that just to try and keep as dry as he possibly can. Rain at the heaviest it's been so far in the game. And the pitch is really slippery. Poor clearance by Gutas has dropped Tyman's way. And the ball is flicked forward by Grimes intelligently down the left-hand side. Gineni, was that a shove in the back by Gutas? It was. And a free kick to Swansea. Down by the dead ball line. Kionetete getting ready to come on for Cardiff, who lead 1-0. But there's danger here, Chris.
Yeah, there always is. You have to be switched on. It'll definitely be in the players, the back of the players' minds as well, about the games that they've not seen out when they've had this lead. So there's a nervousness there as well.
Yaku Mete, who we did see hobbling a few minutes ago, is coming off. Kionetete, 6'6", plenty of power, is the man who is coming on for Cardiff City. Formerly of Tottenham, Kionetete, but never made the grade in North London. Not that there's any shame in that. And the rain is just spectacularly heavy. It's monsoon-like here now. And Chris is going to take a photo. Tete's first task is to join the Cardiff defensive line. We're having to all shelter here virtually. We're right under the roof. We should be alright, but it's really swirling, this rain. Free kick to Swansea there. Right by the dead ball line. Matt Grimes to float it in high. Left-footed, headed away by McGuinness. Not a good delivery by Grimes, or at least no one was on his wavelength. He was tripped by Tanner, who's going to get a yellow card, the goal scorer. Free kick Swansea midway into Cardiff territory. It's 1-0 to Cardiff on TalkSport 2. Can Cardiff hold their nerve?
No, they have to. They have to. It's as simple as that. I think they've worked on a lot of things. I think Errol Bullitt, when I'm reading the programme notes, he's had a lot of time to implement certain things that they've not been doing great. There's been a lot more positives to take out of the games, but the games that they've dropped points, how they've managed things, certain scenarios, and this is they're going to get asked a few questions now.
Patino's over this. Not much angle to work with, left of centre, but there are plenty forward in the white of Swansea City. 8.5 minutes to go. Swansea going to make the change confusingly now. Patino was standing over it, but he's coming off. And here comes Liam Cullen, who, as I say, is very much a Swansea boy. Was once a mascot for a game when he was a youngster. And so now Grimes is on free kick-taking duties. Cullen for Patino on the field. Grimes one arm up into the air. 1-0 to Cardiff to score. Grimes will float this in high to the penalty area towards Cullen, headed away though by McGuinness. It's come back to the near side of the field where it's chipped into the penalty area by Key, very high. Anik has dropped it under pressure from Darling, but the referee always looked likely to give the free kick to Cardiff on that occasion, and he did.
Yeah, it wasn't a great ball at all, I have to say, from Josh Key there. Far too much height on it. Just allowed Jack Anik to go out and claim it under the pressure of Darling. But yeah, it has to be a better ball. Put it right on the money in there. A lot of white shots, just waiting on that delivery.
The rain has abated a little. It's still very heavy, but not quite as purely and utterly torrential as it was earlier. Cardiff 1, Swansea 0 it remains. 7 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Clearance by Anik was a poor one from the goalkeeper, but Cullen couldn't bring it down with his first touch. Back the ball goes to Anik once more. Anik will slice the ball up towards the Cardiff right. Etete with a good touch. Was he fouled by Pedersen? No. Challenge was fair, says Sam Barrett, the referee. Swansea throw. Swansea having the lot of the ball, playing from left to right towards the Grange end where the away fans are, but they're not creating enough with it. Still, in 83 minutes played, they haven't tested Anik properly yet. As Darling wins the free kick on halfway. Fouled by Etete. Now, what was the difference between the challenge there from Etete and the one from Pedersen a couple of moments ago?
Not much at all. Not much at all. I think the referee's just trying to keep the excitement up, giving Swansea a little favour there.
Swansea seek an equaliser. They're 1-0 down. Michael Duff standing alone in his technical area. Swansea on the attack with Tyman. Caught in the penalty area. Shot driven in by Cullen, and it's blocked. The effort from the substitute by Ryan Wintle of Cardiff City. There'll be a throw now for Swansea. That 15 yards shy of the corner flag on that far side there left. Cardiff fans on their feet all around the stadium. It's Pedersen on to Timon, back to Pedersen again. Pedersen rolls the ball square to the halfway line, and Wood on his own. Square ball to Darling now, and Grimes back to Darling to the near side, and Key, and backwards it goes again, and Michael Duff turns away in frustration once more. Not happy with his side performance, at least the body language has told us that throughout the game. Cardiff fans bouncing up and down again, but there's quite a long way to go in the context. 6 minutes plus there'll be a lot of stoppage time. Cardiff 1, Swansea 0, and Swansea on the attack on the far side there left. Cross looped high towards Key at the far post, headed away bravely by Collins. Good touch by Grant, he's got the pace to beat Darling. Darling managed to check his run. Here's Ramsey though, lovely spinning pass to the right, and Tanner whose goal separates the two. Urge forward down the right, 3 in the middle in blue. Tanner gets beyond Pedersen. Is that a penalty? Yes, for Cardiff City. Referee was right on the spot. Down went Tanner, penalty given.
Yeah, I've got to say Tanner again. Great ball from Aaron Ramsey to find Tanner. He's just direct. He's making things happen. He's 1v1 with his man. Just showing him the ball. Moves it. He's in the box. You can't leave a lazy foot in there. You cannot do it. Penalty kick. Yeah, it's obvious. Referee's right up with play.
Well, you have to feel for the Swansea fans.
Oh, you know what?
Fight for them.
First contact's outside the box, Joe. The
no VAR in the Championship.
No, there isn't. The first contact is outside the box. Wow.
Or maybe, given the replays that we've seen, as I say, the Swansea fans can have cause to complain. But what a moment this is for Aaron Ramsey. At the Canton end, here at the Cardiff City Stadium. The skipper tonight, wearing number 10, the Royal Blue of Cardiff, with a chance to make the points safe on Derby Day. It's going to be Aaron Ramsey from 12 yards out, right-footed, rolls it down the middle. Aaron Ramsey, the coolest man at Cardiff City Stadium. He scores in a South Wales derby. It is a picture book perfect night for the Bluebirds. Ramsey celebrates. There are a couple of fans on the pitch. Cardiff City lead by 2-0, and it's Derby Day delight finally for Cardiff City once again.
Well, that was an excellent penalty. Ramsey just rolls it, composes you like, straight down the middle. And I was just waiting for the goalkeeper to move. It's an excellent penalty. Just watches the keeper go just off centre to the right hand side. And you're looking at Rushworth there, knows as soon as he puts his knee to floor, his hand to floor, that it's in the back of the net. And listen to that.
Oh, what a cheeky penalty it was. Rushworth committed and Ramsey just rolled it down the middle. But all credit to Ollie Tanner, who really is the man who's come on and changed this game.
He has changed it. I do say I think the officials got that one wrong. The linesman's at that side as well, Joe. You know, when Pedersen makes that challenge, the contact's outside the box. The linesman's right up with he's right on the money there. He's right in line with that. He has to see that. He has to help the referee, Sam Barrett there, with all the information he possibly can.
A controversial penalty, but a penalty converted. Swansea's run of South Wales derby wins is surely at an end. Cardiff 2, Swansea 0, 2.5 minutes to go. Here is Fulton for Swansea, just shy of the halfway line. He threads the ball crossfield to the left, and Timon. Time is, well, really rapidly running out for Swansea here, and they just haven't looked like scoring through the entire game, you have to say.
No, they've not threatened, have they?
Oh, and now Etete taking on Pedersen. Can he get beyond the defender? Pedersen does do well. Pedersen has looked good on his debut.
Yeah, fantastic again. You know, I don't think Pedersen makes that challenge if he's inside the box, the one that was given for a penalty. I think he knows where he is. He knows it, and that's why he just has a little tug at Tanner there. But again, he has defended well. He's won his headers.
Well, here's Cullen, corner of the penalty area for Swansea, gets his shot away. It's blocked by Wintle, and then the second ball is hammered up into the air by Ng. Beneath the lights here, the Swansea supporters, as I said earlier, they continue to look disconsolate, but the Cardiff fans are ready to celebrate. Cardiff 2, Swansea 0. Clearance away by Gutas. The loose ball drops to Fulton. Middle of the Cardiff half. Swansea boss Michael Duff watches on with his arms folded. Cardiff are going to make another change, I think. Here is Wood. Backwards and square to Pedersen just inside the Cardiff half. Everybody in the Cardiff half, while the Swansea goalkeeper Rushworth, who's had no chance with either of the goals. The first a great left-footed effort by Ollie Tanner. The second a penalty scored by Aaron Ramsey. His first South Wales derby goal. The man who is such a legend to these Cardiff supporters. Floated forward by Pedersen. Down the left-hand channel, cleared away by NG for Cardiff. And Swansea have looked lacking in ideas throughout, and that continues as we enter the last 45 seconds of normal time.
Well, I'm looking at Michael Duffy's going absolutely mad. Harry Darling there had the opportunity just to fire it into Patterson. You know, he's in those little pockets, and that's where you've got to be brave enough just to pass it. And you're 2-0 down. Surely it must be easy to play the way that you want to play 2-0 down. Take those risks.
Here is Bolton trying to play the ball through the middle for Swansea. It's been intercepted by Siopsis, given away though to Wood. Ramsey was calling on Cardiff to hold on to the ball there, and Grimes has floated it long, and Cullen's header is straight at the goalkeeper. Well, it's an effort on target, but it's a tame effort and an easy save for Anik.
Yeah, you know what, there wasn't enough pace on the ball. You know, I think when he's got across his man and made the contact, yes, it's on target, but you have to try and generate that power yourself.
8 minutes of added time, and a Cardiff change meanwhile, and Aaron Ramsey is going to leave the field. The local legend back for his second spell at the club, and he scored his first goal at the Cardiff City Stadium since February of 2011. And what a moment beneath the lights for Ramsey. He surely sealed Cardiff's first home Derby Day victory in a decade, with the coolest penalty you will ever see, and a standing ovation as he's replaced by Callum Robinson.
Yeah, he's been good tonight. You know, he's had to work for everything that he's got from the game. Callum Robinson coming on as well. He's been really dealing with a back injury that Errol Bullock wanted him around the team, put him on the bench when he's 50%, 60%. He knows how important he is, but if they can manage him through, they finally got him out there, so he just needs the minutes now to get up to speed. Callum Robinson.
A minute through 8 added. Swansea going to make a double change. Kukarevich and Ollie Cooper are going to come on. The ball is cleared downfield by Anik of Cardiff. The header away by Wood for Swansea. It drops to Siopsis. Cardiff 2, Swansea 0. Less than 7 of the added 8 minutes remain now. A noise all around the stadium from the Cardiff fans on 4 sides of this ground. Back it goes to Jack Anik. He clears long the goalkeeper. Header away by Harry Darling. Loose ball drops towards Callum Robinson, but he can't get it under control. Good run by Key through the middle for Swansea. Key, can he jink away from Wintle here? He's got support to the right. He chips it to the right where Cullen is waiting. Cullen brings it down, and then Fulton hits it on the half volley. Spilled by the goalkeeper. Cleared away by Siopsis. Finally, Anik is seriously tested.
Yeah, he is. You know, I've got to say, it's an excellent run. Fulton puts everything behind it, hits the target. Fantastic save from Anik, but Siopsis right in the right area, clear the danger. Giannelli he gambled in behind as well, but it was good hands from Anik to steer it away from danger.
Nikola Kukarevich for Christian Pedersen, and Ollie Cooper for Jay Fulton. The final changes for Swansea into stoppage time. Well, they know about stoppage time goals at the Cardiff City Stadium. They need 2 here, do Swansea, to rescue what would be an almost improbable point, really. Long throw into the box from Darling is headed away at the near post by Collins for Cardiff. And now it's back with Swansea possession and Grimes. 40 yards from goal. That's a lovely ball into the penalty area, but a miscue by Giannelli. Swung at the ball and missed. And through it goes to Anik. And another desperate moment. Some of the Swansea fans have their heads in their hands behind the goal. It just isn't going to be their night, you feel.
Well, Giannelli, he's onside. It's an excellent run. You know, I think he's got time to take it down, and either just place it as well. You know exactly where the goal is. The goal doesn't move. Just make sure your connection with the ball is right.
And more cracking action for the Championship coming tomorrow, live from the Den at noon. Millwall against Leeds, live and exclusive to National Radio on TalkSport 2. 3 minutes through 8 added. Cardiff 2, Swansea 0. Swansea, to their credit, continue to try and look for a route back into the game, but it's surely too late for them now. Forward by Timon and control on his chest by NG. The rain has virtually stopped after the torrential weather that we had earlier. Long through the middle by Siopsis towards Grant. It's cleared away only as far as Wintle from 40 yards. It's just wide. Goalkeeper was committed wildly outside his penalty area, Rushworth, and Wintle went for it from miles out. And had it been on target, it would have been a stunning third goal for Cardiff.
Yeah, it was a poor clearance from Rushworth there, and I've got to say excellent quality from Wintle. He just got too much, connection was too good, just tried to pass it over the head of Rushworth into the goal, but straight over the crossbar it was. Excellent attempt.
Here is Darling for Swansea, halfway through the 8 added. Darling launches the ball long, with Swansea needing 2 goals to even claim a point here. Siopsis reaches the header away by his teammate Gutas and plays it to the right, and Ng threads it up the far side touchline. It's charged down by Patterson, but at the expense of a Cardiff throw. Cardiff, you have to say, do thoroughly deserve it in the end, Chris.
No, I have to say, I think they started well. They were more composed even in the first half, using the ball, winning their challenges. You know, those second balls, that's something that Swansea have been nowhere near. And when they've tried to play as well, Cardiff they've kept the ball well. You know, they've used that quality, but certain players, you know, Collins for me has been the standout. Tanner's come on and just been direct and made things happen, and thoroughly deserved to get his goal. And like you say, okay, I guess he's made his own luck winning the penalty.
Free kick to Cardiff City, just inside the Swansea City half, and Collins is the man who's going to take it. And he's just going to roll the ball down, and I think pump it long maybe towards the Tete. And no concern for Cardiff City about getting further goals. There are 2-0 advantage here against Swansea. But NFL to come for you tomorrow on TalkSport 2. 2 commentaries starting tomorrow evening at 6. Stay with us for those. The Premier League goals as they go in on TalkSport. Make sure you download the TalkSport app to be across everything. Grimes for Swansea, plays it forward to Kukarevic, the Ukrainian. Back now to Timon, who charges over the halfway line. Timon out wide to Patterson, hugging the touchline. Patterson infield and square to Grimes. 2 minutes of the 8 added remain, and Cardiff can very nearly celebrate a much-needed Derby Day victory. Cullen backwards to Darling. Darling pokes the ball infield to Wood in the centre circle. And Swansea continue to try and play, but they are surely a beaten side now, unless something remarkable happens. Forward by Timon, cleared away by Gutas on the edge of the box, and over the halfway line, it's Tete, a winning runner, chasing it down with Wood. Wood thought about going back to the goalkeeper. It almost doesn't matter. Cardiff fans all around the stadium are on their feet. They're packed in around us, even those in the executive boxes right behind us are joining in the chanting. This is a game that means so much to so many.
Yeah, it does. It does. You can see that now. Yeah, I think Swansea, even now, you know, this is where you've got to go direct. Pick up second balls in the attacking third and then go from there. Overplaying, got nowhere to go. Yeah, I needed to see more tonight, Joe.
Header away by Ng for Cardiff from the right back position. Last minute of added time. Robinson trying to run through the middle. Tete's poked it wide left towards Robinson again. Cardiff fans on their feet. They want a third goal. Robinson curls it right footed, gathered by the goalkeeper in his 6-yard box. No real power behind the shot, and good handling from Rushworth.
Yeah, Robinson breaking forward there. As soon as he comes in, you know that he's wanting to get the shot away. He has to go with power. He's trying to kind of catch the goalkeeper out and go near post and just place it.
We've got 30 seconds to go. Cardiff are 2-0 up. Ball has been played back to Timon, midway inside the Swansea half, and it's touched on to Cullen, who whips that just wide of the far post. That was certainly an enterprising effort. In fact, it was Ginnelli with it, and not too far wide, but not close enough, and that's the story of the game for Swansea.
Yes, it is. You know, I've got to say it was an excellent attempt from Ginnelli there. You know, just playing on the shoulder, got the whippage, just not the accuracy in the shot.
30,000 are ready to lift the roof off the Cardiff City Stadium now. Live and exclusive to national radio on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. Cardiff lead 2-0. Anik has a goal kick, and we've surely just about reached the end of the game. Anik belts the ball long. All eyes on the referee as Cardiff bay for the final whistle. Wintle clears. The last touch off key and a Cardiff City throw. 8.5 minutes of added time have been played. The noise is deafening now. Nobody's sitting down anymore. And the canted end to our left is just a mass, a sea of limbs and delighted Cardiff City supporters. Throughout the left-hand touchline by Grant, cleared away by Cooper for Swansea. And Swansea 2-0 down. Cullen trying to burst upfield. Ginnelly has it on the halfway line. Wintle comes across to make a challenge. He gets in front of Ginnelly. That typifies the Cardiff approach. That looks like a foul. The full-time whistle is blown. And in a game that means so much to so many in South Wales, it's Derby Day delight, finally, for Cardiff City.